So we've seen a nice pump on ADA, and as you can see, we are retesting the 200 EMA, and it's possible that we can actually find support at that 200 EMA, and that's something I'm going to be looking out for. And as you guys know, I've been tracking a WXY structure, where during the time of recording of my previous video, which I believe was around here, I was tracking the Y wave to then complete the W wave, which is this one here. And since then, we did see another push to the upside where we ended up reaching this level at 55.71 cents, and that then completed the W wave. So what I'll do very quickly is check to see what actually took place over here, and it looks like it could be a 5-wave move. So if I go on the 5-minute chart, and so we had this WXY structure that I was tracking, and so if I use the fib tool, and yeah, so I was looking for ADA to tap into this region, but instead we ended up actually, so we still fell short of the 1.618 retracement level, but we extended beyond the 1.236 retracement level. So essentially we were in a bullish environment, hence why this took place. And then, so it does look like we had a WXY structure as opposed to a impulsive move. So essentially that Y wave then reached 55.71 cents to complete this W wave. And then we saw this move to the downside to complete the X wave, where we then tapped into this region. So in fact, this region will actually be adjusted given that we saw a high. So if I use the fib tool once again, so here you can see that the 50% retracement level sits at 53.29 cents, and the 88.2% retracement level sits at 51.53 cents. And as you can see, we ended up tapping into that region, and since then we have seen that pump to the upside to complete the Y wave. And so it looks like we are currently within the Y wave right now. So I'll set out the Y wave target. But if I go on the hourly chart, that'll be easier. So put that in the right position, and you can set the Y wave would reach anywhere between 57.77 cents to 58.99 cents. And during the time of recording, you can see that ADA is actually trading at 59 cents. So we've actually breached this region. And so it will be interesting to see if we can actually extend towards the 1.618 retracement level. And should that be the case, then it's possible that what we are forming is a impulsive move. And so I will be looking at for ADA to actually find support at the 200 DMA and then see a continuation to the upside. And it's still possible, as you can see on the stochastic RSI, despite us actually being in the overbought conditions. And so if I go in the 4-hour chart, to be fair, we could see a reversal. And so despite us being within the overbought conditions, if we continue to see a high, then that would then signal a bullish trend. And so that's something I'm going to be looking at for today. And so if I go back to the hourly chart and actually see what's actually taking place within this Y wave. So if I go in the 5-minute chart and remove this, so it's possible that we have a 5-wave move, where if I was to use the fib tool, and so here you can see that we extended beyond the 1.618 retracement level and reached this level at 55.34 cents. And so that could then be the wave 3, and then we have the wave 4 that played out, followed by a 5th wave. And so if I use the fib tool once again, and bring that to over here. And so yeah, here we actually ended up tapping into this region between 57.93 cents to 58.63 cents. And so to be fair, it's possible that we have a WXY structure within this Y wave. But of course, if we do extend towards that 1.618 retracement level at 59.76 cents, then that could then trigger a 5-wave move. And so, yeah, that's something I'm going to be looking at for in during the day. And it will be interesting to see if we continue to see high highs. But I'm not necessarily holding my breath just yet, given that we are within overbought conditions, and so we could still see that reversal, and we could see ADA actually get rejected at the 200 DMA, and that would then signal a bearish trend, and we could see a retracement to the downside. And so if we do see a XY structure that plays out, then it's possible that we see a 50 to 88.2% retracement of this wave structure. So assuming that we top off to complete that Y wave, then we could see ADA reach anywhere between 51.89 cents to 54.88 cents. So anywhere within this region, and then I'll then be looking at for a fan push to the upside, where we could then see a bigger XY structure forming, where this XY structure will make up the W wave, and then we see a retracement to the downside to complete the X wave, followed by a fan push to the upside to complete the Y wave. And if we do see a retracement to the downside and we breach past this region, then it's possible that we ended up completely this move to the upside, and then we see a lower low, where we then potentially tap into this region here. And so, yeah, that's just my update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found this useful. And if you did, then feel free to hit that like button. And if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.